with less moderation, he's trying to protect, he claims he's trying to protect freedom of speech. But there are many journalists' accounts who covered issues in authoritarian countries that were taken down by the platform at the request of those authoritarian governments. For example, I can say that hundreds of accounts of Turkish journalists in exile have been blocked in the last 6 months. And we experience similar things in other social media giants like Meta, Blue Sky as well. How can journalists push back and protect their work in this digital environment that is very hostile to their work? And what would you say as the head of European Federation of Journalists?
It's very difficult, and for example, we suggested to all our members to leave X, because X has become toxic, and specifically Musk has become member of the government of the US. This political and economic capture was a big no-no. Now you're telling me Blue Sky is doing that as well. We know about Meta, we know all about it. And yes, it is very, very difficult because we don't have anything else. For years we have been talking about the need of a European platform, European digital infrastructure, which is less toxic. We don't have it. So many journalists tell us we need social networks, and I don't say social media here, I say social networks. We need it to be known, and it's our only way. Also clickbait sometimes is very important for us, for the economic survival.
Yeah.
For us it's very easy to say remain professional, ethical, and because we are dependent on those platforms. Yeah. So I don't have a response. I can only say that we at European level are trying with the legislation we have in place now, the Digital Service Act, to make the platforms more transparent, more accountable. There is in this Digital Service Act there are something about systematic risks also regarding press freedom. We had some talks with some what's called experts who are following that, to also cover journalists who are violated, be it by the algorithms that on purpose do not get journalistic, so censor journalism, or blocking journalist account, or, which is also very bad, you may have heard about spoofing, where journalist accounts by deep fakes are imitated, and that's very dangerous for the trust and for the journalists, because the content is not something you want to be close to. Yeah. So we have many, many challenges in the digital world.
According to last RSF reports, Europe is the best place for media freedom, comparing to, of course, other places. And all of the 15 most media-free states are located in Europe. And so you are European Federation of Journalists. Congrats for this. And we also know that many journalists, there are numerous journalists in Europe fleeing from Belarus, Russia, Turkey, and they come here for free media climate, but still they face many challenges here. And what would you like to say to those exiled journalists? What would be your message to them?
First of all, I just have to say that even though media freedom is still, in comparison to other countries, the best, there is a sliding as well. It's also becoming much more difficult in Europe. Second, we are trying everything for journalists in exile to help them, because we think it's utterly important to give them a voice, also against disinformation, against the propaganda machines, be it from Russia, Turkey or Belarus. We think they're utterly important, and we hope that governments think that as well and help them to provide them with equipment and to be able to do their work in security.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay.
I first have to apologize because we can't help them as much as we want, because there is a language problem, of course. It's not because you're a good journalist in Turkey that you can become from one day after the other a journalist here in Belgium writing in French or in Dutch. So that's difficult, but we should help them to do their work and write on their countries of origin, because that's where their voice matters the most. So we should find ways through the organizations that support journalists, but also governments, that we can help them still functioning as a journalist for their countries, although they are in exile.
Yeah, as we talk about the case of X, for example, I can say that hundreds of accounts of Turkish journalists have been blocked in the last 6 months. In the past, social media platforms were crucial, especially for the opposition in authoritarian countries. But today, those platforms mostly turned into another tool of those undemocratic governments for the consolidation of their power and the crackdown of society. How can journalists push back and protect their work in this digital environment?
Well, first, as I said, leave the platforms that are under control by these guys and use other platforms. I think we have to build and work with the tools that are first protect your privacy, that are transparent and also moderated by sound people. But it's a huge setback, because everybody used the technology that is now turning against us. It's easy for authoritarian regimes to just simply block all traffic, as what's going on in China for decades, is what's going on in different countries. So it's not easy to fight